Stop in the last class. So can one of you summarize what we learned in the last class? Rupa, were you there in yesterday's class? Are you there? No. Did you attend yesterday's class, Rupa? Can you summarize? Yeah, you didn't attend. Okay. Who has attended yesterday's class? Who has attended yesterday's class? Can summarize this? Anyone from the class? Whoever has attended yesterday's class. You are in a position to visualize this clearly. This particular step. This is a key step. Okay, so you find out the error. Update the weights. You are interested in finding out these weights between the input layer and the hidden layer. How much it's influencing this error. Okay. It's called a credit assignment problem. I said. I hope you can recall that credit assignment. How much amount of this error is due to this weight? Okay, so that's what you are checking. Dou E by dou WIH. So you are doing it in a chain rule fashion. Chain rule. Sure. So in today's class, the objective is to work out a problem. Okay. Problem related to backpropagation. So once you understand this problem, you should be in a position to write the code. Okay, a Python code or a MATLAB code. Okay, so you can submit it as an assignment. I'll be uploading it in the assignment section, both for perceptron and BP, followed by Hebbian learning. You should be in a position to write codes. Okay, so we can upload the code on the assignment section. I will send a link soon. Okay, by maybe this weekend I'll be giving you the assignment. Okay, so but the idea is you should be in a position to visualize this clearly. Now let us take this algorithm, split open and see what's happening at every stage. Okay, so this is what in fact the last class we understood. So this is a new weight between the hidden layer and the output layer, and that update is given by this gradient. Okay, dou E by dou WHG. You need to compute this. This you are computing using the chain rule. This you are computing using the chain rule. So wherever you have difficulty, you can stop me. Okay, so that you can write your code properly. So this one is between the input layer and the hidden layer weights. Okay, dou E by dou WIH. Okay. Now look at this algorithm now carefully. Can every one of you can see this algorithm clearly? This slide. Can you make it a little bigger? I think this is all right. Okay, these are all the steps involved here. So the first time when we are going to work out the algorithm, a training set of data is there. Okay, so you randomize the initial set of weights, small values for both the input to hidden layer and the hidden layer to output layer. You randomize the weights. Okay, this is the second step. On the third step, you are going to iterate. Okay, you are going to get the data in, and you are going to do the forward passing. Okay, so take the data in X, send it to the hidden layer, do that pre-activation step XW. You'll be doing that, and then pass it through a function. Okay, that's what is happening here. Pre-activation and activation. So that's what you're doing here. So SIK equal to SIK. So it's the input layer. You are not doing any operation. And then you are taking it to the hidden layer, and then you are taking it to the output layer. You compute the output using the sigmoidal functions. So this step is quite straightforward. So any code you can write. Okay, you can write this code without much difficulty. So simply you take the signal in, pass it through hidden layer, and then you get it as the output layer. So in between you have one pre-activation and then one function. Again one pre-activation, one function. So there are weights in between. Okay, to the output. So this is a one forward pass you are calling it. So this is a step involved. So you do it for all the data. Okay, that's the first step. The second step, what you are doing, you are computing the deltas. Okay, so you're computing the delta. So delta J you compute for the output layer for each and every neuron. So for example, if you have 3 neurons in the output, this is the output. Okay, so the first one is will be function of activation function. Okay, x1 for the kth iteration. Second one is yes y2 for the kth iteration, and yes y3 for the third iteration. These are all the outputs you'll be getting that you are comparing with the desired output dg. Okay, so you compute the delta jk like this, and then you have to find out the s bar yjk. What is this? This is nothing but this 1 by 1 plus e power minus yj. You are going to differentiate this with respect to yj. Okay, you are going to differentiate this with respect to yj. That is this term. So that normally you will be getting it as, recall that term, anyone from the class, what is that term? First derivative of yjk in terms of the activation functions, this one. Anyone from the class? What is that? This one? This bar yjk, first derivative. What is this then? Varsha? Sai Pawani? Surya Prakash? Anyone? What is that value, man? S bar, first derivative. This is a log sigmoidal function. Okay, 1 plus e power minus yj. If I'm going to differentiate this with respect to yj, what do I get?
S.
Ah.
S into 1 minus S.
S
S of
okay, into 1 minus sh. Okay, that's the value you pick up. So this number is a number. Okay, it's a number directly you can plug it. First derivative. Okay, then you can find out this. Okay, then this is updated by delta jk. Delta jk, this eta is nothing but the learning rate. Okay, that you normally will fix it between 0 to 1, or sometimes it may be greater than 1 also. So for example, the problem what we are going to work out today, its learning rate is 1.2. So delta jk is computed like this, and s into shk. What is this? This is output of the hidden neuron. Okay, the output of the hidden neuron is given by s into xh k. Kth iteration. So this is output of the hidden neuron. So that is the value. Then compute delta errors at the hidden neurons. But here we need to be careful. We need to do it for all the output neurons for each and every one of the what you call the hidden neurons. So for this is connected like this is connected like this. So for one neuron we are going to compute these deltas. This is delta 1, this is delta 2, delta 3. All these deltas will be distributed to this. That is why this summation will be done. Okay, so for example, if you split open this, what do you get? For example, j equal to 1 is going to be delta 1. Okay, w for first neuron I'm going to do it 1 1. Then plus, then I have to take the second neuron here. This first neuron will not change. In the hidden layer, the first neuron will not change. But all these neurons I need to work out. Delta 2, w. Can somebody tell me what is that value? W11. Next one is W2, W. What is that value? Is it clear? Can I repeat? Is it not clear? See here I have outputs. Okay. Output neuron. I'm working out for this neuron, hidden neuron, 1. So this is connected like this, like this. So in the first step, what you have done is you have computed the delta. Delta 1 for the output neuron 1, delta 2, delta, for example, 3. So when I am going to work out for this particular neuron, okay, so what I am doing is I am going to distribute these deltas, all these deltas through the weights here. Okay, so in that case, for this first neuron, the output will be, look at the formula, here. this formula. J equal to 1 to P delta JK WH JK. Okay. Delta J W H J J equal to 1 to 3 in this case. Is it clear? I have 1, 2, 3 output layer. So J, this is a J, this is a H. Hidden neuron, your index is H. All the hidden neuron. All the output neuron, the index is J. So naturally, I'm going to work out this. Okay. So for example, I have 3 neurons here. Therefore, this is going to be delta 1 times W 1 1. Then second one is delta 2 times W what? The same one. What's the second one? Okay, this weight I'm talking about this one. Third one is going to be delta 3 W. So this is what I'm talking about. Okay. So if I do this, I'll be getting all the collection of that. What do you call? The deltas are being distributed. Okay. This distributed delta has been assigned to this neuron. So the credit has been assigned to this neuron through this delta values. Okay. Now, if that is the case, with this I can work out. And this is what is this? S bar ZHK. Again, the same formula. What is that? S ZHK into 1 minus S ZHK. Whatever you said now, the first derivative. That is more like, are you getting the point? 1 by 1 plus exponential minus ZH. That is a term you are getting from the neuronal output, okay, hidden layer output. This is output, hidden layer. Neuron 1, for example, hidden layer will give this activation output. That value is going to be 1 by 1 plus e power minus z1. And I am going to differentiate with respect to ZH. Okay, differentiate this with respect to ZH. Z1, for example. What do I get? I get same function. Okay, S into Z1, 1 minus S into S of Z, sorry, S of Z. Same function will be good. Simply plug in the value of S of Z equal to that particular value, and you get a number here. You get a number here, you get a number here. 1 minus S of Z is a number. So that's the first derivative. So this idea is important. So using that, you compute that value, okay, then get this, and then update these two weights. You got both these delta values, delta WHK, delta IHK, and then you update the weights. Okay, once you update, that is one iteration is over, you can go for the next iteration again. So that is what we learned in the last class also. Now today's class we seen the algorithm now. Now let us work out the problem. So take down this problem in your notebook, okay, and try to think through it first. For a minute, you just think how we can solve this problem. So there are two stages involved. One is the forward pass stage, and another one is the back propagation error. Back propagation. Forward pass, back propagation. So what is the first pattern? The first pattern is x1. Okay, it's going to be like 0.5. For 0.5 is one input, minus 0.5 is another input. So these two. Okay, here if I plug in 0.5 and minus 0.5, that's my first pattern. And the desired outputs are 0.9, 0.1. That's my first data set, labeled data set. Likewise, for the second set of data, it's going to be minus 0.5, 0.5. For that pattern, I should get what? 0.1, 0.9. It's clear. So this is the pattern P2. This is a target D2. Okay, so that's a target. And the same way, this is the pattern P1. This one is pattern P2. Easily you can visualize this clearly. Now the initial set of weights are given to you, including the bias. Okay, bias weights are also there. Clearly you can see it. So there are weights in between, and you need to work out this hand-worked example on your own. Okay, so how do you solve it? Take a minute and think, and we'll see. You understand the question clearly? What is expected from you? You need to work out at least 2 iterations for this problem by updating the weights 2 times. Okay, that's the problem. This is the first forward pass, stage 1. Take the first pattern, k equal to 1, take the first iteration, 0.5 minus 0.5. Yeah, you pass it through what? This one? S of x1k. How do you compute that s of x1k? How do you compute this value? Can somebody help me out?
One by one plus e power minus x1.
X1. Are you sure? Go through the algorithm and tell me, Pavani, clearly.
Minus x1.
Minus?
E power minus x1.
No. Check carefully. That's the input data. Okay, I said in the input we are not using any functions. Okay, so simply it's a linear function only we are using. So whatever that comes as input, that will be passed. Same value is going to get. That is why here if you look at 0.5, after passing through the linear function, you are going to get 1. Is it clear, Pawani? The input layer, you are not doing any kind of transformation, any kind of functions. You are simply linearly passing the data, input layer. So whatever input is coming, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So it's a function, simple mapping. It's the same linear function. So whatever is going to come, it's more like a ramp imagine. Okay, it's linear. Whatever input is there, the same output you are getting. Okay, 1 means 1, 2 means 2. Okay. So you mute it in your enter. Some white noise and between. Okay. So now see this is s of x1k. The x of x2k also the same value will be taken. But in order to compute z1k, what do you do? Now tell me, Pavani, in order to get z1k, what do you do? What is the formula for zhk? What is the formula? Sigma I is equal to 0 to n w I h k x I of k. You agree? Now this is the formula you need to employ in order to get z1, for example. In our case, is the first neuron, okay, and I got 2 neurons in the input, and this is connected like this. So I got 2 values. So what is the value of I now? Tell me. I is going to vary from. Bias is also there. Okay, the same bias. Bias is also. Remember that. So I is going to vary from 0, 1,
0 to 2.
Yeah, 0 to 2. Okay, 0 to 2. Okay, now W, I, H is going to be 1 always. For this first neuron, I'm going to compute. I, X, I. Is it clear? So this is what I'm going to do first. So this is nothing but W, 1, 0, 1, X, 0, plus W, 1, 1, X, 1, plus W, 2, 1, X, 2. Is it clear? So this is the first step. So this value I'm going to call it as Z1 of T. So if you compute this value, what do you get? You will get some 0.16. You can plug in the value and see. Just plug in the value and check whether you are getting the same thing, 0.16. What are all the weights? The weights are there. Okay, 0.1. This 0.1 is there, minus 0.2 is there. These two are the weights connected to the first node. And this value is going to be always 1. 1 into 0.01. X0 is 1 always. X0. That's going to come inside the bias. Is it clear? Are you getting the point? Anybody would like me to repeat this step? .5 minus 0.5. Okay, that are all the two inputs. 0.5 minus 0.5. Okay, it's going to go inside the input inverse, and I'm going to get the same 0.5 minus 0.5 here. Okay, and then that's going to get multiplied by the weights. What are all the weights? First weight will be 0.1. Okay, second one is minus 0.1 minus 0.1. And the this one is bias weight. The bias weight is going to be minus 0.01. Okay, that's the bias weight. Okay. Now you do this calculation. Tell me what you are getting. Are getting what is the value you are getting?
Sir, can you show the question, the previous page, sir? Down, this one, sir, minus point, not one you told bias, sir.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Bias weight. Bias
same like that, another one weight was there, sir. Bottom. What is that?
which
The diagram, sir.
no.
Can
See
you go
here,
to the previous diagram, sir?
here this one. This
Question.
one. This
Yes,
one.
sir. The
That's the
minus
neuron 2 bias. Neuron 2 bias. The same, it's a different bias it is. Okay, minus 0.0.
Oh, okay.
Is it clear? The input
So
is
we
1.
are
Input
seeing
is
only
1.
x1.
We are working out for this one. This neuron. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Hidden neuron 1 we are working out.
Okay, sir.
So for hidden neuron 1, this is the formula. Now I have given you this weight. What is this weight? Minus 0.1. I have given you this. X0 is 1 always. So this one is I given. Okay, W11 is given. What is that? This one. 0.1. Okay. And X1 is given? Yes. The same X1 is going to be 0.5. And this W21 is what? Minus 0.1. 0.2. Minus 0.2. This X2 is minus 0.5. Is it clear? Every one of you clearly see this? This is the computation you have to do. If you do this computation, what you get? You're going to get 0.16. That's the computation value of 10. Okay, 0.16. Okay. Now you do it for the second neuron in the hidden layer, the same manner. Is it clear? So the same manner you have to work out. Second neuron is going to receive, so this is the same two neuron input. The second neuron is here. I'm going to connect it here. And there is no bias. Okay? Okay, this is the second neuron. In order to work out this, I should know the same formula. Okay, same formula. WIH, XI. This is the index I, this is the index H. So the hidden neurons, WIH, XI. With I varying between, again tell me, what is I? Between 0 to, it's clear. So naturally, I'm going to get 0. This H is now going to be the second neuron. So it will be 0 to X2 or X1. Okay, X0, sorry. X0 plus W 0, 1, 2, X1 plus W 2, X1. Is it clear? So now once you do this operation, these weights are there. In the problem it is given. These weights you can see clearly. These weights 0.3 and 0.55. And the bias weight is minus 0.02. So if you compute that, you're going to get the values. You plug in the values 02, 012, 22, x0, x1, x2. x0 is 1 always. x1 and x2 we need to substitute 0.5 minus 0.5. Substitute that value, you're going to get a value here. That is what is Z 2H. Okay. For the kth iteration, Z2 is what you are going to come. Second neuron in the hidden layer. Everybody with me? Anybody wants me to repeat again this step? Is all right? You understood? So that's what we are computing. Z2K. And then you get whatever value obtained, that you pass it through the exponential sigmoid function. Okay, for the first case, S of this one, I'm going to do it.
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir, could you repeat that, sir?
Which step? Anand, Munal reach our meeting. Karthik.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, good luck. I think non-class is not the 1 minute. Listen. I'll start from the basic. Okay. Look at this. So we have this input layer. The input layer, I am representing it by the index I, and then it goes to the hidden layer. Hidden layer, I am representing with the index H, and the output layer, I am representing with the index J. You remember this first. Then at each stage, we are passing it through some functions. Okay. Some logistical functions here in the hidden and the output layer, and the input layer simply passes the data. Okay, whatever it comes as input, it is going to pass it. Now this input layer is connected to the hidden layer like this. Each and every layer in the input, every neuron in the input layer is connected to the each and every neuron in the hidden layer. So naturally, first connection will be like this, second connection will be like this, third connection will be like this. Is it clear? So naturally, we are going to compute the pre-activation function for this particular node, hidden node 1, for example. Let us take this node, hidden node 1. It's going to have a function like this. This I is going to be the running parameter. I is going to be equal to 0 to, for example, I have 2 neurons here. I can put 2. Why I am putting 0 here? Because there will be one more bias. Okay, that I am calling it as x0. That value will always be equal to 1, but there will be weights of that. Okay, there will be weights for that. So naturally, I equal to 0 to 2 is be the running parameter, and then I will be getting W I H X I. That is the pre-activation function for neuron 1 here. So can you expand that on Karthik? What will be the value for the first neuron H? The index is H. H for every one of this neuron. Okay, for example, H equal to 1. What will be this expansion? H equal to 1. W 0
W.
H X 0 plus
0.
W 1
H
1 1. Okay, the same
1 1.
Okay. 1 1.
Okay.
Okay, then x1 plus W what? 2 1.
2 1.
2 1 x2. Is it clear? So the first neuron, this is x1, this is x2, this is x0. So I have taken x0, x1, x2. The corresponding weights are W11, this is W21, and this weight is GW01. Is it clear now? 3 weights are here, with 3 weights here. So I can compute this value at this stage, at this particular point. Then I will pass this value through, this value I am calling this Z1. Then I will pass this value through a function called sigmoid. This is the activation function, like this. I will be getting one output. Okay, this number is passed through here. I will be getting one output. That is the output of this neuron 1. The same manner I can do it for neuron 2, neuron 3. I can get the corresponding outputs passing through a function. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. From hidden layer to output layer, is there any
Weights are.
weights are also?
Yeah, weights.
Oh.
The same manner you have to work out for the hidden to output layer. Okay, for example, if I am going to work out in this case, there is a pre-activation function. So can you expand that and tell me what is the value y1, for example? Is a neuron 1. What you are expecting? The running parameter will be what? H. Okay, H equal to, for example, here it is starting from 0 to some 3. 3 neurons are here plus bias. Okay, one bias will be for this. But H value will always be equal to 1. Okay. So then tell me what is this value? WH J. J is a running parameter for, and the corresponding input is going to be ZH. Is it clear? Output I have in computing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, J is the run parameter. J is the index for the output. So I'm using J. So now you can expand it for output neuron 1. This is output neuron 1. It receives input from all the previous layer, is it not? So neuron, for example, I have 3 neurons here. All the 3 neurons are going to receive input. In that case, I have to expand this. W0 along with it one bias will be also. That is W0 H. H is 1. Okay.
Okay, sir.
0. That is H is 0. Okay, this is 1. J is equal to 1. So it is equal to 0, 1. Tell me. Z 0 plus W 1, 1. Z 1 plus W
2, 1.
2, 1. Z 2. Is it clear? You have 3.
Yes, sir.
2, 1. Is it clear? So that's how you have to work out. Then you compute that value y na. That one you have to pass it through a sigmoid. 1 plus e power minus. Is it clear, every one of you? The idea is clear. Simply you pass it. That's all. Forward pass.
Yes, sir.
So that's what we are doing here. S of Z1k is a function after passing through the sigmoid function. Is again 2 neurons are there. So therefore 2 outputs will be getting. Then y1, y2, 2 outputs. Then again pass it through the sigmoid function. Whatever they are. Okay, this value you know how we are computing. For example, this value is nothing but 1 by 1 plus exponential of minus 0.927. This value. And this value is nothing but, can somebody tell me what is that value? V2. We are getting 1 by 1 plus exponential of minus 0.995. Is it clear? Is it clear to one of you? So this is the first forward pass. So once you compute this forward pass, then go for the error. Already we have, this is output now. 0.7164 is output of the first neuron. So that value you take, compare it with the desired value. What is the desired value? Desired value is 0.9 D1K. You compare it, get the error. Second neuron is the same manner. 0.5238. Desired value is what? 0.1. First pattern. Okay, 0.1. So you compare it, get the error. Then you compute the delta 1. Okay, for the output neuron, you need to compute the delta 1. How do you compute that? Can you recall? Error into the derivative. Okay, the derivative of that exponential. You remember? Okay, so how do you compute for the output neuron delta? So how many deltas I'll be getting the output node now? I got 2 outputs. This is output y1. This is output y2. I'm passing it through the function s of y1, passing it through the function x of y2. Okay, so I have computed the error now. Error 1 and error 2. Now in order to compute delta 1 and delta 2, I simply take that error, okay, multiply it with what? The derivative function. Okay, so this function is there now 1 by 1 plus exponential of minus 1. Okay, this I'm going to find out the derivative with respect to d1. That is nothing but the same s of y1 minus 1 into 1 minus s of the derivative. I'm using that. So that is my delta 1. Error into this term. Okay, error into this term. So that's a error, delta 1 function. So I can compute for delta 2 the same manner. Delta 2 is going to be again error 2. This is error 1. This is error 1 into this. This is error 2 into same s of y2 1 minus s of y2. That is what delta 2. So you can compute both delta 1 and delta 2 in this manner. Okay, delta 1 is computed, delta 2 is computed. Can you see it? This value 0.7164. What is that? Here it is. 0.7164. Okay, that value. And for the second neuron, it is going to be 0.523. That is what is into the same 1 minus that same value. So that is what that value is. Then these two are errors. Okay, minus 0.1836 minus 0.423. So you can compute the two deltas comfortably. Then use the delta and proceed on to the next hidden layer. Okay, see here that delta is sitting here. Okay, for the first neuron, hidden neuron. Okay, so you need to use both of these values in order to work out the corresponding What is that expression? Can you recall? How do you get this expression? This expression. You have to recall. See here, this is one. For the hidden layer, the update is like this. Delta j k, the k varying j equal to 1 to p, w h j. Is it clear? So we are going to use that expression here. So these are all the outputs. Two outputs we have. So we have already computed delta 1 and delta 2. And I'm going to work out for this hidden neuron. Okay, hidden neuron with the index represented by h. This index is j. So the formula is sigma, okay, j varying from 1 to 2. Okay, there are two outputs. Okay, then delta j z. Okay, zhj. What is that? Whj. Wh. Okay, based on that, you're going to compute this. So for this neuron, it is clear. Tell me what is the value for first neuron? It's going to be delta 1 w 1 plus delta 2 w. This is going to be 1. Okay, 1. J is 2. Okay, second neuron. This is the first neuron here, the jth index. So I'm computed this way. If I have more number of outputs, this is going to be a series. Okay, it's going to be delta 1, W1 plus delta 2, W2 plus delta 3, W3, more number of outputs. I have only two outputs here. So I got only these two terms. So that's what we have computed here. Is it clear how we have computed this? 0.0373 into 0.37. Can you see it clearly? This is delta 1. Delta 1 into the corresponding weight. What is that weight? 0.37. See, can you see it? 0.37. Then plus the second one, delta 2, minus 0.1057 into the corresponding weight. What is that? Minus, this is this weight, minus 0.2. For the first neuron only I am computing. Okay, the same manner you can do it for the second neuron also. So I can compute two hidden layer deltas. Because I have got only two nodes. Is it clear? Anybody wants me to repeat this? The idea is clear. How we are computing the second one. That is the second one. Then once you have computed that, then the rest of the steps are direct. We are going to update the weights. Okay, I've got how many weights? This m and n indicates to separate the two weights they are given there. Okay, for example, this n indicates the weights between input hidden layer and the output layer. This m indicates the weights between input layer and hidden layer. In order to separate these two, they are given like. Now see how they are updating it. What is the formula? Can somebody tell me what is this value? Beta delta 1 into x delta 0. Delta 1 into x of that is the weight we are going to update. Okay, so w 0 1. It's that not w, n here. N is the index for the weight index. Weight n is the what you call the weights representing hidden the weights which are between hidden layer and the output layer n, and m is between the hidden and output n, and the input and hidden weights are represented by m. Therefore, I am right now talking about n01. Okay, n01. So n01 means output neuron in the output, and it's connected with the hidden neuron 0. Okay, hidden neuron 0. So this weight is n0. So that's the first one. So corresponding delta for that one is 0.0373. I have already computed, and the input is x0 is 1. Not x0 here. It's going to be z0. Okay, z0. That is output that's coming from the hidden layer. If I put x0, I'm talking about something between input and data layer. Okay, is it clear? So that is delta. That's what is computed here. This will be 0.0047. And that weight is updated. Initial weight, this is this value, plus this delta value. You update the weight. You understood this? Can I repeat again? It's a little tricky. You have to understand it clearly. How many of you understood this? What is this learning rate? Learning rate is 1.2. It's a constant value. So new weight is equal to old weight plus learning rate times some dou E by dou W Hj is what we are talking about. This dou E by dou W Hj is what we are computing using this delta. Okay, that is nothing but learning rate into that delta 1 for the first neuron into 1, the input. Okay, the same manner you can do it for rest of the weights also by using the formula directly. I'll do it for one computation. Okay. Take the first neuron, output neuron. This is the index J, and it receives input from the previous layer. Hidden neuron with an index H. Okay. I'm going to update some weights. Okay. It receives more input. What is that? H. This H1, H2, H3, like this. H0. This weight you call it as N01. Okay, I'm going to update this. So for that, I require this H0 will be equal to 1. I already told you, bias is equal. So I'm going to update this weight. How I'm going to update is N01. Delta N01 is going to be some learning rate times. Okay, some learning rate times delta 1. This is the error I already computed, delta 1. Okay, dot the input H0. So if I'm going to update delta, okay, 1, 1. Can somebody help me out? What is that value? This is 1. I'm talking about this weight. If this is N01, this will be N1. And tell me what is the value here? What is this value? For the same neuron. Okay, this is it is connected to the neuron 1. This weight I'm going to update. What is the value? See, I am at the neuron 1 only output. Okay, so the corresponding delta is not going to change. So delta will be the same. But the input for this is H equal to H not equal to 1. But this one is what? This input is what? There's going to be some S of Z1. Remember? So that will be the value. Okay, so for example, I'm going to update this value. This is going to be N Hj. Okay, into 1. What is this value will be? Can somebody help me out? What is this value? Learning rate times. What is the delta? For the same output neuron, okay, therefore it is going to be delta is not going to change. The same is of Z2. Okay, this output. ZH, okay, ZH is 1, 2 like that. So you can update the weights accordingly. Then you can, this is a delta change. Then the new weight is going to be N01 is going to be equal to the old weight is a new weight, old weight minus this value, delta N. Is it clear? So that is the updation for this particular weight. For this one also you can update like this way. So every weight can be updated accordingly. This one you can write a code for this. Okay. See here it is updated. Okay. So the weight is updated. Total there are 6 weights, okay, including the bias 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The same manner you can do it for the input to hidden layer also, the m weights can update like this based on the algorithm. Okay, that's the idea. So after the first iteration, you'll be getting an updated weights like this, and then you can again forward pass with the updated weight, and you can update the weights accordingly. Go through this algorithm once, do hand calculation once, so that you can gain some clarity what we are doing. Okay, particularly this step, how we are updating the weights. Updating the weights, always remember this. When you are going to update for one particular neuron, compute the deltas for that particular delta 1, delta 2. Okay, for example, there are 3 weights associated with the first output neuron. Clearly, you can see that. Okay, there are 3 weights. Output neuron, this is output neuron. This is y1, this is s of y1, that is output function passing through the function. So this output is nothing but 1 by 1 plus exponential of minus y. That is the output you have computed. This you are comparing it with a desired value. Okay, and get the error. So then this neuron is connected by 3 weights. Because in the previous layer you have 2 hidden neurons. So naturally 3 weights has to be updated. So n11 is n21. That's all. These 3 weights has to be updated. In order to update these 3 weights, you need to know the learning rate, number 1, and then the corresponding deltas associated with it. Delta 1, for example, in this case. This you have already computed, delta 1 for this. And the inputs, corresponding inputs. This is H0, this is Z0, sorry, no? Z0, Z1, this is Z2. Okay, those are all the values. In order to update delta N1, 11, you need to use the corresponding input. In order to update delta N01, this weight I want to update. Then running rate times delta 1, what is the input? Z0. That value is 1 bias. Okay, then you update N21. That value is going to be learning rate times delta 1 Z2. That's all. Z1, Z0, Z2. These are all the inputs. The same manner you can work out for the input and hidden layer also. The same manner. You have to, but instead of delta 1 like that, I'm going to get delta H1, delta H2 like. In fact, we have computed that. Okay, the previous step. Delta H1, delta H2. So use that and then compute the corresponding outputs here like this. Okay, delta M0 weights. So I will pose a question and then I'll stop here. For this one, this neuron 1, I have told you how to compute. For neuron 2, okay, can somebody help me out? What are the parameters? Delta N02, 1, 2, 2, 2. Okay, so those are all the 3 values you need to compute. These are all the values you need to compute. That's all. Okay. These values you need to update. So how do you update that? Can somebody tell me? Delta N12 I want to update. This weight. How do I update? Tell me the formula. Learning rate times. What do I need to put?
Del 2.
Delta. What is the input of that neuron? This point.
S of Z1.
Delta N02, tell me. Learning rate, same rate L2. Okay, this input is going to be 1. This. Then delta N22. Tell me what is that? Learning rate times delta 2. So, is it clear? So, in this manner, you can update the weights. Once you update the weights, you can go for the second iteration. So, that's it, the idea. Instead of this delta, you are going to have delta H1 for the previous case. Hidden input and hidden layer. Delta H1, delta H2. So you have to compute delta 11, delta 2. Then delta H11, delta H2. That's all. For the kth iteration. K equal to 1 in this case. First iteration. You look at this case, you are going for the next iteration, K equal to 2 you put. Okay, for the same set of inputs, you update. Okay, you do it like this. The K is iteration or pattern? Pattern index. No. Same input. Same input, na? 0.5 minus 0.5. Oh, change. Yeah. So K is here the pattern index, not the iteration index. Okay? Pattern index it is. Pattern index. First pattern, second pattern. Updated weights, it's applied for the second pattern. Okay. What is this kind of learning? It's pattern-based learning, not batch learning. So this kind of learning is called as pattern-based learning. Batch learning means you keep you apply all the patterns for the same initial set of weights, and then finally you update. You understand the difference? So that's the batch-wise learning. Pattern-wise learning means you update the weight once for each pattern, and then you apply the second pattern, again update the weight, again you apply the first pattern, apply the weight, so that thereby you'll be pattern-wise you'll be working. Okay. With that, I'll stop today's class. Any doubts so far? Anything you want me to discuss again? I have another 4 minutes time.
Sir, how many iteration has to be worked out, sir?
No, Ramya, this is hand calculations we cannot do. The examination it will be very tedious. And
Okay, sir.
only for understanding purpose I am showing this.
Okay.
The examination, if they ask you only one iteration, you work out, it is sufficient. Perfectly
Okay, sir.
work out with iteration. It may take some 30 minutes minimum.
Okay, sir.
Do it for only one iteration. One iteration is sufficient. But the code we have to write. That's the challenge. Okay, writing the code is the key. Python code or MATLAB code we can develop. Okay. So think about that. Take the algorithm and try to sit through it and try to develop the code for this. If you can do that, that will be a good work. Okay. So with that, I'll stop with this. Anything else to be discussed?
Sir, for the project, can we use TensorFlow, PyTorch libraries, sir?
If you're clear about that, then you can use the basics if you're clear about. But TensorFlow, I think I'm not preferring this TensorFlow and PyTorch right now, because if they're based on the algorithm, okay, for example, if you're going to work with backpropagation based multi-layer perceptron algorithm, clean Python code will be sufficient. You do not go for that kind of functions, because everything is function based, TensorFlow and PyTorch and all. You will not be doing anything. Okay, in a simple one line of code, you can complete the job.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so but then you need to show me some kind of work related to data processing. Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
I have taken this kind of data, I've tuned this data, I've done a lot of statistical feature analysis I've done. So if you can project in that manner, maybe I can accept that. Okay.
Oh, okay, sir.
So instead of that, if you take a TOI data and you work with a TensorFlow, it will take a few hours of time or so.
Yes, sir.
So that's what I'm telling you. 50 hours of at least work I'm looking for. 10 weeks, 5 hours per week. That kind of work if you can do and you can project that, it will be nice.
Oh, sure, sir.
5 hours per week is not a big deal, man. It will be useful to you in the long run also. This kind of algorithm you have worked on, you have the project you have done, and you can project it always in the interview board and all, wherever you go. Good, satisfying work if you can do, it will always be helpful to you.